Good morning, everyone. Welcome to IAC Live online course. Today, we are going to see the application part of nouns which we have discussed yesterday. Yesterday, we had discussed nouns theory part. So today, we are going to discuss the application part of nouns which you are going to face in your examinations. The application part you will face in error detection or sentence improvements or sometimes in fillers and also in closed test. In any of these four sessions, these nouns, correction of sentences we are discussing today, but in the sense of correction of sentences, you have to remember the fact that you may get in any of these four ways or four forms. So, but we are going to discuss in the form of correction of sentences where we'll be taking one sentence with or without error, and that part you can think it as a filler where the part is to be corrected, or you can take it as a closed test, or you can take consider it as a sentence improvement, and automatically we will detect where there is error, so error detection. So in these four ways you are going to face the application part. Today we are going to discuss that in the form of correction of sentences, that is the application part we are going to have in today's session. So let's begin our today's session with the first sentence. So look at this sentence. The jury have given their decision. The jury have given their decision. If you look at the sentence, the subject here is jury, right? What kind of noun is jury? Yesterday we have discussed different types of nouns. So what kind of noun is jury? So can anyone answer? Kartikeyan, Lata or Swapna? So anyone? What kind of noun is jury? We have discussed yesterday the types of nouns. Jury comes under collective noun, right? Jury is a collective noun. We all know collective nouns are the nouns which are nothing but group of nouns of same kind or class taken together and treated as a single entity. That means all collective nouns are singular nouns, right? When the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. When the verb is singular, the pronoun also must be singular. So here the jury have should be replaced with singular verb has. And the verb is singular, that means you require a singular pronoun. Here their must be replaced with its. So singular subject requires singular verb and singular pronoun after verb. So if the subject is singular, verb must be singular, pronoun must be singular. If the subject is plural, verb must be plural and pronoun must be plural. So it is collective noun, not a proper noun. So the jury is a collective noun. So collective nouns are singular entities. Do remember, yesterday we have discussed this. So all collective nouns are singular, like jury, team, army. Remember this, hive of bees, right? And bunch of grapes or a bunch of keys. All these are collective nouns. So look at some more examples of such kind. The army, now army as a group of soldiers, but it is a collective noun, so treat it as a singular. The army marches towards the enemy camp to save the borders. Guys, look at this sentence. The army marches. So is march a singular verb or plural verb? Let me give you some data here. See, if you add yes to a noun, noun becomes plural, right? For example, boy plus s, boys, is a plural noun. But if you add yes to a verb, verb becomes singular. For example, look plus s, looks, is a singular verb. The boy looks, not the boy look, because singular verbs end with letter S and we have to use them only with the third person singular in simple present tense. Only in simple present tense we use them with third person singular only. So keep that in mind. So if you add yes to a verb, verb becomes singular. That means here marches is a singular verb. Army is singular. So the army marches towards the enemy camp to save the borders. Now look at this one. The crowd. We discussed yesterday. Crowd is a group of people. It's a collective noun, right? So the crowd, group of people, collective noun is always singular. So is dispersed by the police. So the crowd is because it is singular. The committee, again, the committee, group of people who is working for a single task is committee. So committee is singular. So has made up its mind. See, singular verb and singular pronoun. Its mind to close the restaurant. Now look at this one. The mob. This one we have discussed. The difference between crowd and mob we have discussed yesterday. So crowd also group of people, mob also group of people. But the difference is crowd is just a group of people who act as spectators, whereas mob is a group of people who does some unlawful things, illegal activities. So the mob was getting ready to storm the building. So mob again singular, so we require to use a singular verb. I hope this is clear. So collective nouns are always singular, hence we have to use singular verb and a singular pronoun if there is a pronoun in the sentence. But there is an exception for this. There are some cases where we can consider this collective noun in plural. What are those cases? One, when the collective noun is divided, it is considered plural because divided means it became two entities. When there are two entities, it means plural. That is case 1. Case 2. When we are treating the individuals of the collective noun, again it is plural because we are not taking as a whole. Collective noun, we take it as a whole. That is the reason it is a single entity. But when it is divided or when we are considering the individual members, collective noun becomes plural. So when the noun is plural, verb must be plural. When the verb is plural, the pronoun must be plural, right? So look at this example here. The jury was divided in its opinion. Look at this, guys. Divided. So divided means it became two entities. Then the subject is plural. Hence we require a plural verb and a plural pronoun. As a subject, generally jury is singular, collective noun. But as it is divided, it became a plural one. So the jury were divided in their opinion. Is it clear? When it is divided. Look at this example. The team are having their baths. See, team means, a group of players. Can entire team go and have a single bath? No, not even in swimming pool it is possible because everyone have their individual bath, right? Everyone has their individual bath, so you cannot say the team is having its bath because we are talking about the individual members there. We are considering the individual persons. So the team are having their baths. So that's the next example. Look at this one. The parliament What is parliament? Group of ministers, right? The parliament decided. Here you guys see, decided is a verb in past tense. In past tense, it can be either singular or plural, same form. Only in present tense we have different forms. In past tense, all three have same form. So, the parliament decided the matter without leaving their seats. That means again, guys, we are considering the individual members, the ministers, without leaving their seats. We are not taking it as a single entity. We are considering the individual members of the parliament. So this is the exception case for our collective nouns. So remember, collective nouns are singular nouns because we consider them as a whole. But when they are divided or when we are talking about the individual members, collective nouns become plural. When it is plural, the verb must be plural. When the verb is plural, the pronoun must be plural. So this is our first one, application form with exception. So instead of these highlights, you may get them as fillers, fill in the blanks or close test. Or without highlighting, they will ask you to detect the error, or with highlighting, they may ask you to improve the sentence in sentence improvements. So all four varieties we are covering under one thing in application part. So this about the first one. Let's move on to the second one. If you have any questions or doubts, please let me know through your chat. So I'll be discussing those doubts. So let's move on to the next one. Look at this. The cotton is a cash crop. The cotton is a cash crop. What type of noun is cotton? What type of noun is cotton? Anyone? In the types of nouns which we discussed yesterday, cotton comes under what type? Good, Kartikeyan. It is material noun. So cotton is a material noun. So, yes, Swapna, it is material noun. So, material nouns are nothing but the names of raw materials or substances from which things are made or formed, right? Now, the sense here is the rule says do not use any article before material nouns. We should not use any article before material nouns because only this cotton is a cash crop, not that cotton. Only this one, not that? No. We are not specifying any cotton here. Any particular cotton, if you talk about, then you can say the cotton. Here we are not particularizing because the sentence is a general statement. Cotton is a cash crop, not only this cotton. Any cotton is a cash crop. So, do not use any article before material nouns. Look at these examples. Gold, material noun, is available in all parts of the world. Can you say the gold? Only particular gold? No. Silver is not as expensive as gold. Again, silver, material noun. Is copper a useful metal? Obviously, it is. Potters use clay to make pots. Here, gold, silver, copper, clay, cotton, all these are material nouns. Do remember, do not use any articles before material nouns. We should never use article before material nouns. However, again, there is an exception. Yesterday, I told you for every rule we discuss exceptions. How many rules we are discussing? Those many exceptions also we'll discuss. And exceptions are the cases which you have to concentrate more because it is apart from the general statement. It is anomaly of the rule. So let us see what is that exception. For example, look at this sentence. Water is precious. Yes or no? Obviously. Can you say the water is precious? Only this particular water is precious, not that water. Entire water is precious. But if you look at this sentence, The water supplied through those pipelines was polluted. Which water? The water. Here we are particularizing. Here we are specifying. Specific water. Particular water supplied through those pipelines. See guys, when we particularize, when we specify, then use definite article the before material nouns. When we do not, please don't use any article before material nouns. So can we make one more example? Look at this sentence. The clay used to make these pots was very hard. Which clay was hard? Entire clay in the world? No. Here we are specifying the clay used to make these pots, particular pots, was very hard. So when we particularize, when we specify, only then we have to use definite article the. Otherwise, no article must be used before material nouns. So that's our next one. So hope it is clear. If you got any doubts, please let me know. Let's move on to the next sentence. Look at this sentence. The sun came from behind the clouds and her brilliance tore the veil of darkness. The same example which we have discussed yesterday, under which concept, guys? So which concept we have discussed and we have given gender to non-living objects? Yes. Which concept does it come under? Giving life to non-living objects like the sun, the moon, the earth. No answer? Let me remind you. So did you remember this? Personification. Good. So under personification, we discussed giving life to non-living objects, right? When we give life to non-living objects, the question of gender arises. When we give life to non-living objects, the question of gender arises. For which noun we give masculine gender, and for which nouns we give feminine gender? Nouns which are noted for strength and violence come under masculine gender. Nouns which are noted for beauty, gentleness, and gracefulness come under feminine gender. Right? Now, the sun comes under which gender? Masculine or feminine? Obviously, it is masculine gender. So the sun comes under masculine gender when we personified, right? So when it is in masculine gender, we require to use a masculine forms, right? So we have to replace her with his because his is a masculine form. So the sun came from behind the clouds when it means we personified, came from behind the clouds and his brilliance tore the veil of darkness, right? Now look at these examples. Time passes in his chariot majestically. So time, guys. So what is the gender of time when we personify? Yes, time comes under masculine gender again. Hence, his chariot. Time is a subtle thief. He stole my ears. Again, time, masculine. So, he. The moon hid herself behind the clouds. Moon, we discussed yesterday, when personified, comes under feminine gender. So, moon herself. Next, nature offers her lap to everyone. Nature offers her lap to everyone. Here, nature, when personified, comes under feminine gender. So, nature offers her lap to everyone. So, this is our sentence. So, the sun, the moon, the earth, nature, spring, autumn, time, sheep. Yesterday, we discussed under personification when we give gender based on the qualifications and the rules, we can put them either under masculine or feminine. So, sun, because it is very strong and violent at times, it comes under masculine gender. Now, let's move on to the next sentence. Look at this. Sita bought 2 dozen eggs. Sita bought 2 dozens eggs. Guys, we discussed it under nouns number in set 13. In set 12, we have discussed this nouns number. I told you some nouns which are always having same uh, forms, either in singular or plural. Sheep, sheep, fish, fish, deer, deer, reindeer, reindeer, dozen, dozen. Right? So do remember this. Sita bought 2 dozen eggs. Here, dozen means 12. We know it's a unit of counting. So remember, units of counting like dozen, hundred, thousand, million, etc. When generally they do not have plural forms, because in plurals and singulars same forms, they do not have separate forms, and that too when they are preceded by a number. When these units of counting are preceded by a number like 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., these units of counting should never be pluralized. 2 dozen, not dozens. 300, not hundreds. 4,000, not thousands. 5 million, not millions. So do remember. So units of counting when preceded by a number, especially, they should never have the plural forms. They're always in singular sense. Hence, it should be Sita bought 2 dozen eggs, because it is preceded by 2, which is a number, numerical adjective. So 2 dozen, not dozens. Remember this, guys. Now look at this one. Sachin scored 2,000 runs in 2003. Here it is 2,000, not thousands. It is 2,000 because it is preceded by a numerical adjective. My cousin bought 200 smuggled items. It is 200, not hundreds, preceded by a number. Several caps and a score of cars. We discussed even this score is also unit of counting. Several cabs and a score of cars were parked outside. Yesterday, I bought a house for $2 million. 2 million, not millions. So I repeat, units of counting like dozen, hundred, thousand, million, score have same singular and plural forms. Generally, they do not end in s. And in fact, they do not have plural forms, especially when they are preceded by number, numerical adjective. So 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So 2 dozen, not dozens. 4,000, not thousands. 5 million, not millions. Again, however, there is an exception to this case. Again. So, what is that exception? Let me show you that. Look at this one. He sells, you go to market and you may purchase 1 dozen apples, 2 dozen oranges, 3 dozen custard apples, 4 dozen mangoes, or something like that. So you purchased, and in the same way, I purchase, he purchases, she purchases, they purchase, people do purchase, right? But we are purchasing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 10 dozen. But how many does that fruit vendor sell? 1, 2? No. He sells many. But how many? We are not sure of number. Remember, when the number is indefinite, when the number is indefinite, we are not sure about particular number. We are not sure of how many in particular. Then we can pluralize the units of counting. We can pluralize the units of counting only when the number is indefinite, when we do not know particular number. Hence, look at this one. He sells dozens of fruits. How many? We are not sure. The number is not definite. So the number is indefinite. So we have pluralized here dozens of fruits every day. But remember, when the number is definite, when the number is definite, we know the exact number, then units of counting should be singular. We have to use singular unit of counting. Look at this sentence. Thousands of students, how many? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Definite 1, 2, 3, singular 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. But how many? Indefinite, we are not sure. Thousands of students appear for competitive exams daily. So thousands of students, plural. That's the reason we use a plural verb, appear. So guys, remember this. When the number is definite, we should not pluralize it. It's always singular unit of counting. When the number is indefinite, we are not sure about how many. Then you can pluralize the units of counting. So this is the exception for our units of counting. Right? Let's move on to the next one. Any doubts in this? Any doubts so far? Please let me know through your comments. Now let's see the next sentence. Look at this. Mathematics are the queen of sciences. Mathematics are the queen of sciences. We have discussed yesterday in set 15. There are some words which always end with letter S. Mathematics, physics, genetics, politics, right? Now, are they singular or plural? Such nouns which end with S are considered as singular entities. So, mathematics is singular or plural now? It is singular. So, singular subject requires singular verb. But here the verb is plural. Hence, make it singular. Use is. So, mathematics is the queen of sciences because mathematics is singular. Though end with yes, it is not plural. Look at these examples. Genetics is an interesting subject. Genetics is the name of the subject. It ends with yes, but not plural. So, genetics is an interesting subject. Do you feel that physics is difficult? Physics, again, singular. So, do you feel that physics is difficult? Mechanics was a part of our curriculum last year. Arundhati does not like to get involved in office politics. Here we are talking about Arundhati, singular. We are using singular verb. But again, you are seeing here office politics. Now, the words which end with yes, which are always singular, we have seen in set 15. But again, there is an exception for this. The exception is we can use them in plural sense with a change of meaning. How the meaning changes? How can we use them in plural? Let's see. Politics is one of the subjects of my study. Here, politics is the name of the subject, so singular is. But look at this example. His politics are extreme. Are we talking about the name of the subject here? His politics. Is it the name of the subject? No. Here we are not talking about the name of the subject. Then what we are talking about? What is the meaning of politics here? His tricks and tactics which he uses to climb the ladder or for his personal gains or benefits. So that means here the meaning has changed. So here we are talking about the tricks and tactics for the personal gain. That means here politics became plural, hence we used plural verb are. His politics are extreme. Let me give one more example. So we have considered mathematics as singular, right? So mathematics is considered as singular. Mathematics is the queen of sciences. But you see now, I'm giving an example using this mathematics which we considered singular, but I'm making it plural with a change of meaning like this. His mathematics, his mathematics, do you mean his subject? Do we have personal subjects? No. Then what is the meaning here? His mathematics here. His mathematics mean the calculations. Here we are not considering it as the subject. Is not the name of the subject. Here we are talking about his calculations, his math. So his mathematics are 4. So guys, you see here, we used plural because we changed the meaning. With the change of meaning, we can use them in plural sense. His politics are extreme. His mathematics are poor. So is that clear here? We have discussed units of counting in singular sense, plural sense. In the same way, we are discussing here the words in set 15 we discussed. The words end with S but always singular. But we can make them plural with a change of meaning. Remember that with a change of meaning, we can use them in plural sense. So please analyze this. If you have any question, let me know. We'll discuss till here. So analyze the sentence. Fine. I hope there is no question here. Right. I hope it is clear to you, everyone. Let's move on to the next one. Look at this, guys. The clothes worn by Pradeep are costly. The clothes worn by Pradeep are costly. Now, can you tell me the difference between CLOTHE and CLOTH? What is CLOTHE and what is CLOTH? Cloth, cloth. What's the difference? If you want it in plural, you can make CLOTHES or CLOTHS. So what is the difference between these two words? Clothes, clothes. Anyone, quick. What is CLOTHES and what is CLOTHS? What's the difference between these two? What is CLOTHE? First, let me know what is CLOTHE. Any answer from you guys? Fine. See, CALOTHES is not dresses, cloth is material. No, no. So here you go. CLOTHES, clothes or cloth is stitched or unstitched fabric or material. It can be stitched, as you said, dress, or unstitched. It can be a material, right? So which we generally call garment. On the other hand, cloth is pieces of cloth. On the other hand, cloth is pieces of cloth. Do we wear these? Can we wear the pieces of cloth? No, right? Excuse me. So, pieces of cloth, can we wear them? No. If you do remember, see, in our childhood, I still remember in our school days, one of the classmates used to bring a duster whose mother has machine or whose father has this machine. They used to bring a duster. So that duster is made up of what is there inside? Pieces of cloth. So are they useful for wearing? Are they useful for stitching? No, there's a waste, there's pieces, right? So that is what cloth. So is that clear? CLOTHE is either stitched or unstitched fabric or material which we wear. Generally we call garments. Whereas CLOTHS or CLOTH, cloth, is pieces of cloth which we do not use for wearing. It's just pieces of cloth. It is useless. Now, which is costly? Clothes or clothes? CLOTHE or CLOTH? Obviously, it should be CLOTHE. That should be the costliest one, right? This is the costlier comparing these two. So, now let's go to the sentence. The clothes worn by Pradeep are costly. So, is it CLOTHS? Which is costly? CLOTHE is costly. So the clothes worn by Pradeep are costly. So look at these examples. Clothes are essential for human beings. Obviously, the philanthropist donated the school bags besides clothes to the children. These are nice clothes. Look at this example. The Egyptian mummy was draped in pieces of cloth. You might have seen Egyptian mummy was draped in pieces of cloth. It is not a material which is used for wearing or stitching. So you might have got an idea about the uses of CLOTHE and CLOTH. So any doubts, guys, in this cloth and clothes? So just remember this one. CLOTHES, CLOTHS. Stitched or unstitched, we can say garment. CLOTHS, pieces of cloth. Now let's move on to the next one. Look at this sentence. I'm going to Stephen Hawking's, the scientist's country. I'm going to Stephen Hawking's, the scientist's country. So yesterday we have discussed the last concept. What was the concept we have discussed? Announced the last concept. So you might have remembered this apposition. So what is this apposition? When two nouns, noun 1 and noun 2, are placed next to each other and noun 2 is describing noun 1, then the two nouns are said to be in apposition. That is what we have discussed, right? And I also told you when the two nouns are in apposition and if you wanted to give possession, the ownership, to which noun do we give possession? First noun or second noun or both nouns? As per the rule, we have to give possession for the second noun, right? So, in the given sentence, I'm going to Stephen Hawking's. First noun also was given possession. The scientists. Second noun also was given possession. But when we give possession, we have to give only for the second noun, not both nouns. So, remove this apostrophe S. I'm going to Stephen Hawking, the scientist's country. Who is Stephen Hawking? According to the sentence, the scientist, right? Nouns in apposition. Second noun is describing the first noun. Now look at this example. I spoke to Naresh Agarwal. Who is he? The minister's secretary. See, second noun is describing a first noun. Sachin. Who is Sachin? The best batsman. So Sachin, the best batsman's bat will be auctioned next month. Here we are talking about possession with apposition. So give possession to the second noun, the best batsman's bat here. Next, Saina Nehwal, who is she? The ace shutler is going to represent India in Olympics. So second noun is describing the first one. She appreciated Gautam. Who is Gautam? The hero's son. So second noun is describing the first noun. That is what nouns in apposition. When nouns are in apposition, to indicate possession, we add apostrophe s to the second noun. Not first, not both. It should always be the second noun. So, is it clear, guys? Let's move on to the next sentence then, if it is clear. Look at this one. The audience liked to listen to Gulzar and Akhtar's lyrics. Now, you know Mr. Gulzar and Mr. Javed Akhtar. Both are lyricists. Now, the question here is, do both Gulzar and Akhtar wrote or is writing lyrics for same songs? Are they writing lyrics for same songs together? No, right? That means Gulzar write lyrics for some songs, Mr. Akhtar writes lyrics for some songs. Here, the resultant is not same. The resultant is different. That means here these nouns are not in apposition. Previously we have seen when nouns are in apposition, we have given possession to the second noun. But both are not same. In fact, they are joined by conjunction and, which refers to two persons. So guys, here the resultant is different. When the resultant is different or when we are talking about two different things are persons with possession, do add possession for both nouns. So look at this. The audience like to listen to Guljar's and Akhtar's lyrics because two lyricists write two different or different songs. Hence, we have to give possession for both the nouns separately for the very fact they are not in apposition. And another thing, if both persons are there and the resultant is same, then it should be only one possession to the later one. When both nouns are there and the resultant is different, like this case, then we have to give possession to both the nouns. Look at some more examples. The students recited Makhanlal's and Harish Chandra's poems. Both are poets, right? So, you know Mr. Harish Chandra and Mr. Makhanlal, both are poets. So, the students recited Makhanlal's and Harish Chandra's poems. Two poets, different poetry. Shalini and Malini have accounts in different banks. Remember, here we are talking about accounts in different banks. That means, is it a single account? Resultant is two different. Now, there is no balance in Shalini's and Malini's accounts because two different accounts. So, possession should be given for both the nouns. Look at this. Ravi's and Veera's books have been stolen. Both boys do not possess same books. Ravi's books are different, Veera's books are different. So, possession should be given for both the nouns separately. So, is it clear? When nouns are in apposition only, we give possession to the later one, the second one. But here these are not in apposition. The resultant is different too. Hence, we have to give possession for both the nouns separately. So that's about this. Let's move on to the next one. The table's leg is broken. Can we give possession to non-living beings? This is the first rule we have discussed under possession. The usage of possession. Can we give possession for non-living beings? The answer is no. We generally give possession for only living beings. We do not give possession to non-living beings with apostrophe s, right? We cannot indicate possession for non-living beings with apostrophe s. In such cases, as today I told you, we must use preposition of. Of is a preposition of possession. So we can use preposition of to indicate possession for non-living beings, but not apostrophe s. It has been wrongly used by many of us in day-to-day communication. We generally say, my mobile's charger, give me mobile's charger, laptop's charger, the refrigerator's door. Do they have life? No, they don't. So, do not give apostrophe s. You can say, the leg of the table, use preposition of here. The leg of the table is broken. Look at this. This is Sneha's laptop. Sneha is a living being. So, we can give possession by using apostrophe s. Look at this. The charging wire of the laptop. Laptop is non-living being. So we cannot say laptop's charging wire, mobile's charger. No. The charging wire of the laptop is damaged. The hero's dupe died while performing risky stunts. Here hero is living being. So we can give possession by adding apostrophe s. The handle of the door is broken. Don't say the door's handle because door is non-living being. So it should be the handle of the door is broken. So remember the concept. We generally give possession only for living beings. We do not give possession for non-living objects. For non-living objects, we generally use preposition of to indicate possession. So I hope it is clear. So any questions? Please let me know. And let's move on to the next one. My cousin committed a thiefhood in my house. What? Thiefhood? How come? So let me talk about some nouns. You see, we discussed yesterday the abstract nouns. What are abstract nouns? Abstract nouns are the nouns which we cannot see or touch or measure. We can only feel or experience. Such nouns are called abstract nouns. Now, we have seen the formation of abstract nouns. Abstract nouns are formed from common nouns, adjectives, and verbs. So, the abstract noun for man is manhood. And the abstract noun for child is childhood. And the abstract noun for mother is motherhood. And the abstract noun for thief, is it thiefhood? No. Yesterday I already pointed out all abstract nouns formed from common nouns do not end with the hood. So the abstract noun for thief is theft, not thiefhood. And the abstract noun for king is, anyone? What is the abstract noun for king? Hurry up. What is the abstract noun for king? Excuse me. Good, good. So the abstract noun for king is kingship. So it's not kingdom, it is kingship. The abstract noun for king is kingship. Kingdom is also a noun, but kingdom is not the actual abstract noun. And in the same way, the abstract noun for poor is, what is the abstract noun for poor? Abstract noun for poor. Yes, good, Angela. So the abstract noun for poor is poverty. What is the abstract noun for eng? Eng is an adjective, right? So what is the abstract noun for eng? Your eng means you're in your work. Good, Swapna. So it is youth. So as I told you, it's very important to learn the abstract nouns for the nouns or adjectives or verbs from which they form. So always it is not hood or ty or meant, as we discussed yesterday. Manage, verb management is noun, but it's not always meant or hood. So the right abstract noun for thief is theft. So my cousin committed theft in my house, not thiefhood. Look at these examples. Poverty is seen everywhere. It itself here is given. Poverty is seen everywhere. When he was in his youth, he was very talkative. Patience is a virtue. He has a lot of patience. So patience is formed from patient. So patient has patience. You have to be patient. You should have patience. So, guys, this is about the sentence. So, my cousin committed theft in my house, not thiefhood. So, I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next one. Yes, guys, Swapna, Kartikeya, Angela, all of you are correct. So, the abstract noun for ang is youth. Let's see the next sentence. Kamini works as a she servant in my neighbor's house. Yesterday we have discussed gender and we have discussed 5 methods of forming feminine nouns from masculine nouns. And there we discussed milkman. What is the feminine for milkman? Is it milkwoman? No. So the feminine form is milkmaid. Right? In the same way, man servant, and the feminine form should be maid servant. So what is this maid actually? Maid, in one sense, is a domestic helper. Hence, we cannot say salesman. The feminine form is not salesmaid. It should be saleswoman. So, salesman, saleswomen, sales boy, sales girl. We know that. So, guys, only some nouns, these are common nouns, right? Only some common nouns have gender distinction. And only in such cases we can use gender, and make sure you're using the proper gender distinction. Then what about doctor? What is masculine form of doctor? What is feminine form of doctor? Is there any difference? No. Teacher. So you might have this habit of calling female as teacher, male as sir since your childhood. But let me tell you, it is not teacher sir kind of difference. Teacher can be either male or female. Not females are teachers, males are sirs. That is a wrong notation. Teacher can be either male or female. In the same way, professor, musician, magician. So here we do not have gender distinction. It is similar for both the masculine as well as feminine. But for some nouns we have gender distinction like poet. So what is the feminine form of poet? Anyone? What is the feminine form of poet? The feminine form for poet. Anyone? We have discussed this yesterday. Good. Swapna? The feminine form for poet is poetess. Yes. And the feminine form for actor with the correct spelling. The feminine form for actor, we require the correct spelling because we discussed some spelling related formation also. So, what is the feminine form for actor? Anyone? Good. It should be ACTRESS. We are omitting O before adding ESS. That is our formation. Yes, Lakshmi Priya, you're correct. And Swapna, Lakshmi Priya, both are you are correct. It should be ACTRESS because we are omitting O. Drop the first vowel from last before adding ESS. Just like Negro. What is the first vowel from last? O, right? So the feminine form is RESS. So drop the first vowel from last before adding ESS. That is our method 3 we have discussed. So remember, only some common nouns have gender difference. Not all common nouns we can differentiate with the gender. We can use either he or she. It depends upon the context. But for some common nouns, there is very clear gender difference. So whenever there is gender difference, use appropriate gender form. Look at these examples. He is a man servant in a doctor's house. So man servant, masculine. Viraya doesn't like his wife working as a maid servant. Feminine for man servant is maid servant. There is a milkmaid supplying milk to the whole colony. Feminine form for milkman is milkmaid. He has done some research on maid servants, right? Not women servants. So that's about this model. So let's move on to the next one. I hope it is clear to you. So please pay some attention on gender difference on common nouns as we discussed 5 methods yesterday. Now let's see the next sentence. Look at this. Yesterday, Swapna raised a doubt on this. Why not peoples? And I talked about that concept. And the same today I'm discussing with the help of example. The people who are down to earth never forget the grounds on which they stand. It's always people because the word people itself is plural, right? That is one concept. Now look at this one. The people who are down to earth never forget the grounds on which they stand. At at one time, on how many grounds can we stand on? Absolutely one. And here, ground in the sense we are talking about earth, right? It is singular. So do not use grounds. And what is the sense of this sentence? To learn that, we should know the sense of down to earth. What does it mean down to earth? People who are down to earth are sensible and practical. They are humble and approachable. Though they reached great heights in their lives, they never forget from where they came, the ground on which they stand. That means they never forget the background, their past, and hence they are humble, they're polite, approachable, sensible, and practical. That is what down to earth means. So the people who are down to earth never forget the ground on which they stand. But guys, ground has another meaning also. One meaning is earth, but the other meaning for ground is reason. The other meaning is reason. So when you say like, what are your grounds for the delay? If a sir or a ma'am asked you, or if someone asked you, what are the grounds for the delay? That means they're not talking about the earth. They are asking you about the reasons for the delay. I hope it is clear. Ground has many meanings. One meaning is earth on which we stand. Other meaning is reason. Here we are talking in the sense of reason. Now look at this example. Some people let the grass grow under their feet. Some people let the grass grow under their feet. If you ask them on what grounds they are whiling away the time. If you ask them on what grounds they are whiling away the time, they become the dumb nail. They become the dumb nail. In this example, there are 4 idioms and phrases which you should learn. Let the grass grow under one's feet. What is meant by let the grass grow under one's feet? So let the grass grow under one's feet is an idiom which means not growing the grass under your feet, or not wearing the slippers with grass, or not standing on the grass. Can anyone tell me the meaning of let the grass grow under one's feet? Your feet, my feet, or somebody's, whatever it is. You can replace one with whoever you are talking about. So can anyone tell me the meaning of let the grass grow under one's feet? Anyone? Quick. What is the meaning of let the grass grow under one's feet? Not being responsible. Mm, near, Angela, but not clear. So the actual meaning for let the grass grow under one's feet is to become lazy. Let the grass grow under one's feet, your feet or somebody's, whatever it is, means become lazy, to become lazy. So some people become lazy. Let the grass grow under their feet. Okay. If you ask them on what grounds, here what does it mean? What grounds? Just now we discussed. Grounds also give the sense of reasons. So what grounds means what reasons? They are whiling away the time. You know this. Whiling away the time. Passing the time wastefully. They become the dumb nail. What is dumb nail? They will not speak. They become dumb as if someone nailed. So that is the beauty of this sentence where we use four idioms and phrases. Some people let the grass grow under their feet, become lazy. If you ask them on what grounds, on what reasons they are whiling away the time, wasting the time, they become the dumb nail. They will not speak. They become dumb. So look at next sentence. Generally, a monkey's food is found at the ground level. Now, let me ask you, what is monkey's food? Quick answer. What is monkey's food? Anyone? Generally, a monkey's food is found at the ground level. What is monkey's food? No answer? Let me tell you. Here, monkey's food means not banana or coconut or any such kind. Monkey's food is an idiom which means corruption, bribing someone, corruption. So, monkey's food is found at the ground level in the sense from lower levels, from Pune onwards, right? Next, the ground is good and the young men are planning to conduct a cricket tournament here. Here we are talking about the first meaning, earth. The ground is good. Here we are talking about the earth. So that's about this sentence. I hope it is clear. Ground gives the meaning of earth as well as reason. So based on the context, we get the sense of ground. So do remember, with earth, we cannot use in plural. It should be singular, ground. But you can say playground, playgrounds. There we are giving different sense by using different areas. So this is the sentence on ground. Let's move on to the next sentence. There is no money available in Vani's and Rani's joint account. How many accounts do they have? How many accounts are we talking about? Vani's and Rani's joint account. In the sense, how many accounts? Is it one or two? Are we talking about individual accounts or one account? Joint account in the sense, it's a single account. We are talking about one account. So there is no money available in Vani's and Rani's joint account is incorrect because I already told you when the resultant is same, single, then again we need to give possession only for the second noun, not for both nouns. So the correction is there is no money available in Vani's and Ranis should be replaced with Vani and Rani's joint account because it is single account. Look at these examples. Is there any money available in David's and Ramu's accounts? We are talking about David's and Ramu's accounts. That means two different accounts. Deepak and Deepika's joint account has sufficient funds. Here we are talking about joint account. So joint account is singular. So we give possession to the second noun. There is no money in Krishna and Kishan's joint account. Krishna and Kishan's joint account. Again, here we are talking about single account. This is Ramesh and Rupesh joint venture. Here again, look at this, ends with sh, not s, but we add only apostrophe because the sound, the sound is s. Just like yesterday we have discussed with Bose. Even though it doesn't end with s, the sound is s. So we add only apostrophe. In the same way, this is Ramesh and Rupesh joint venture. Here we added apostrophe to indicate possession. So remember, when the resultant is one or when the nouns are in apposition, we add possession, that is apostrophe s, to the later one, the second one. When the nouns are in normal condition, that means not in apposition, or when the resultant is two, there are two different things, then we have to give possession for both the nouns like David's and Ramos. So let's move on to the next sentence. Any doubts here? Yes. Any doubts? So let's see the next sentence. Our new product will be promoted in the time of a year. Our new product will be promoted in the time of a year. Now, we discussed yesterday in nouns possession, some application with uses. We have 5 different usages. In those 5 different usages, we have discussed under the third one about units of time, units of space or distance, and units of weight. So generally we do not give possession for non-living beings, but here we have seen the usage yesterday of nouns possession. We can give possession to units of time, space and weight, right? Now, our new product will be promoted in the time of a year. Here we have used a unit of time. What is that unit of time? Year is a unit of time. Hence, we can give possession to year and we can write it as this way. In a year's time. In a year's time, 1 year, because you're talking about a year. So, in the time of a year should be replaced with in a year's time. We are talking about 1 year. So, look at these examples. Funds will be released in a month's time. Month is a unit of time. He is going to be married in a year's time. Again, year is a unit of time. Can I expect you to return the book in a week's time? Again, week is a unit of time. Though they have a veil of time, that means lot of time, they can finish the task in a year's time. Again, year is a unit of time. Remember, units of time, space, and weight can give you possession, can have possession with apostrophe s. So this is the usage we have discussed, which is exception for the general rule that only living beings will be given possession by adding apostrophe s. Here we can also give possession by adding apostrophe s for units of time, space and weight. Right? Let's move on to the next sentence. Look at this sentence. Subhash is ready to make any sacrifice for the sake of justice. Again, we have discussed another exception as usage under nouns possession. That is fourth one. It is established expressions or phrases. Established expressions or phrases, as to we have discussed, like Messi's sake, to his heart's content, a boat's screw. So these are the phrases which must be used as they are, though they do not have life. So in that sense, the sake of justice, justice do not have life. Justice doesn't have life, but it is an established expression. So we have to use it this way. For justice sake, for mercy's sake, for Gandhi's sake. So look at some examples. For justice sake, let us not talk anything. His institute is at a stone's throw from college. So stone's throw, I told it is not the unit of weight, it is a unit of distance. Stone's throw, nearby. If you throw a stone, it falls. I cannot sacrifice anything for justice sake. For Grandi's sake, we should not violate the rules. So look at this. Grandi's sake, justice sake, established expressions. Such established expressions or phrases must be used with apostrophe s by keeping possession. That is the rule. So we have to use that as they are. So now let's see the next sentence. C.V. Raman is Newton of India. Who is C.V. Raman? He's a physics scientist, is a physicist, right, from India. Who is C.V. Raman? He is also physics scientist. So you know C.V. Raman is a physics scientist. What about Newton? Newton is well known, right? Newton laws, you might have remembered the third law very well, right? So Newton is also a physics scientist. Now, here we are not comparing two persons. Here we are comparing the quality of C.V. Raman with the quality of Newton. That means I took Newton as a standard for comparison or standard for measurement, or we can also say a scale for measurement. So the sense of the sentence is however Newton is, or how the Newton is, like that our C.V. Raman for us in India, right? You know Raman effect. Now both are proper nouns, C.V. Raman and Newton. But Newton, I'm taking it as standard, as a scale of measurement. That means I want this Newton as a common noun instead of proper noun. Now, how to make a proper noun a common noun? How to make a proper noun a common noun? It's very simple. If you add definite article the before a proper noun, it becomes common noun. Adding simple definite article the before proper noun makes it a common noun. So, C.V. Raman is the Newton of India. Like, look at this. Ali Khan is a Newton of Pakistan. Zing is a Newton of China. Mushfiqur is a Newton of Bangladesh. Daniel is a Newton of America. By the way, where is Newton from? Where is the tree that made apple fall on Newton's head? So where is Newton from, if anyone knows? He's from the UK, United Kingdom. Anyway, so the sense of this sentence is how Newton is like that our C.V. Raman for us in India. How Newton is like that Daniel is for America. Do you understand that? Here we are not comparing two persons, we are comparing the quality of one person with the standard quality of another person. I hope it is clear. Let us see some more examples. Mumbai is the Manchester of India. So, Mumbai is the Manchester of India. Why Mumbai is compared to Manchester? Manchester is famous for not just football. Manchester is famous for anyone? Why Mumbai is compared to Manchester? What Manchester is famous for? Why we compared Mumbai to Manchester? Any answer? So many of you know Manchester for football team, but Manchester is also famous for trade, the business. So how Manchester is like that or Mumbai for us? Kalidas is the Shakespeare of India. Everyone knows Shakespeare. How Shakespeare is like that our Kalidas for us in India. Tagore is the Frost of India. How your Frost is for you, like that our Tagore for us. Koneru Hampi is the Anand of our chess circle. We know Anand as the grandmaster for many years in chess. So how Anand was like that our Koneru Hampi in this area for our chess circle. So that is about this making a proper noun a common noun. So by simple addition of article the before proper noun makes it a common noun. I hope it is clear. So do let me know if you have any questions in this concept. It is a little difficult to understand. If you didn't understand, let me know. I'll explain you one more time. So how to make proper noun and common noun and why we have to make a proper noun a common noun. If you have any doubts, please let me know. I will talk about this again. So no questions? I hope it is clear to you then. Right, let's move on to the next one then. Queen Victoria is the monarchess of England. I already told you, every common noun doesn't have gender distinction. Only few common nouns we have gender distinctions like poet, poetess, author, authoress, right? Servant, man servant, maid servant, milkman, milk maid, right? But remember, for other common nouns like doctor, professor, magician, musician, we do not have gender distinction. So does monarch. So monarch is similar in both masculine as well as feminine. There is no monarchess. You cannot add ess for every noun to make it feminine. So, Queen Victoria is the monarch of England, not monarchess. Look at this. The world believed that Queen Elizabeth is the monarch of England. The countess ordered the culprit to be hanged. The poetess from India is respected everywhere. Here we have gender distinction. Poet, poetess. We are talking about the female. The poetess from India is respected everywhere. Virginia Woolf is an authoress. Again, Virginia Woolf is an authoress, a feminine. So author, authoress. Poet, poetess. Monarch, monarch only. There is no monarchess. So I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next one. The milk woman said that she would not supply milk on holidays. Do we have milk women? We have gender distinction for this. The feminine form for milkman is milkmaid, not milk women. So replace milk women with milkmaid. So the milkmaid said that she would not supply milk on holidays. So we do not have milk women. Look at these examples. The milkmaid is a kind-hearted one. Our milkman did not turn up today. The maid servant working in my house is sincere and honest. Do you know any man servant? I'm in need of one. So I hope it is clear. Gender distinction, whenever it is clear, we have to use particular one. Now let's see the next sentence. Richards is one of my friend who lives in England. For this, I must talk about the concept. Whenever you have seen one of, each of, every of, either of, neither of, some of, any of, many of, etc. Do remember, the noun must be always plural. One of, each of, every of, either of, neither of, some of, any of, many of. Always take plural nouns. But what about the verb? The verb depends on the actual subject. Here the actual subject is not this noun. The actual subject of the sentence is one. So one means how many? Singular. So we require a singular verb here. One of my friends is, not are. In the same way, each of, each also indicates singular. So we require singular verb. Every also indicates singular. So we require singular verb. Either, one of two. So singular, singular verb. Neither, zero of two. So singular, singular verb. Now, some means one, plural. So we require plural verb. Any, again, any indicates singular. So we require singular verb. Many is plural. So we require plural verb. So I think it is clear to you. So whenever you have seen one of, many of, any of, either of, neither of, remember the noun should be always plural, but the verb depends on the actual subject here, one, every, each, either, neither, etc. Hence, the sentence should be one of my friends is in America or something like that. Now guys, why are we using plural noun? Why not singular noun? Because I have many friends. I'm talking about one of many. So one of, each of, why they are taking always plural nouns? Because we are discussing about one of each or either of many or two. So remember, that is the reason it should be plural noun. And one is singular, that's why is. But here is an exception. The exception is when one of generally take plural noun and a singular verb. But in between this noun and a verb, if there is a relative pronoun, then it will be different. So what is this relative pronoun? What is the difference? I'll be discussing later. Relative pronoun generally relates some information with the noun that comes before. So remember, the subject of the relative pronoun is its precedent. The subject of the relative pronoun is its precedent, the previous one. Now precedent is a plural noun. So when the noun is plural, the precedent, the verb must be plural. Here it happens only when there is a relative pronoun. Here, the relative pronoun subject is plural noun. Hence, we require a plural verb. So, let me give an example for that. One of my friends who, here one of, who is a relative pronoun. So, friends is plural. We require a plural verb. Plural verb doesn't end in S. Only singular verb ends with S. So, who live in America is coming today. Now, if you look at this sentence, one of my friends, plural noun, who is a relative pronoun, and the subject of the relative pronoun is its precedent, friends. Friends is plural, so require a plural verb. Here is our plural verb, that is live. So, live is a plural verb in America, and the actual subject is one. Actual subject of the sentence is one. Hence, we require a singular verb. Here is the actual verb. Is coming today. So, this is the actual subject, and hence, here is the verb. That means, I have many friends who are living in America. So, in that, only one is coming today, not all. So, one of my friends who live in America, that means I have many friends who are living in America. In those many, only one is coming today. So, look at this sentence. So, this exception you have to remember. I told you there are many exceptions for all the rules in English. So, with many exceptions, we have to learn many rules. So remember this. One of the, always take plural noun and a singular verb. That is the actual concept. But when there is a relative pronoun between the noun and the verb, remember the subject of the relative pronoun is its precedent, that is plural noun. Hence, the verb that comes after the relative pronoun must be plural. Actual subject and actual verb will be different. But whenever this concept is there, remember it should be always plural when plural noun is there. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, please let me know, and let us see some examples now. Richards is one of my friend who lives in England. Richards is one of my, it should be one of my friends, plural noun, who. See, who is a relative pronoun? The subject of the relative pronoun is its precedent. Here, precedent is plural. We require a plural verb. Here, lives is singular. So, who live in England? So, that is the exception part. That's the reason I told you both the things, the rule and the exception. So, look at this. This is one of my creations. One of the stories narrated by Gautam resembles mine. Cricket is one of the spectator sports. This is one of the schemes introduced by the previous government. So I hope it is clear. So one of the, always take singular verb, plural noun. Why singular verb? Because it is one. Why plural noun? Because we are talking about one of many. So is it clear, guys? Anyone has doubt, please let me know through your comments quick so that we'll discuss this again. Well, there are no comments. It means it is clear. So do remember this concept, guys. It's very important for you. Now let's move on to the next one. Now look at this sentence. The city museum contains some of the oldest aircrafts in the world. Yesterday in set 12 we discussed the nouns which have same singular and plural forms. Sheep, fish, deer, swine, and units of counting like dozen, hundred, thousand, million, species, etc. To the same category, aircraft also fall. So aircraft has similar singular and plural forms. So there is no aircrafts, there is no sheeps, there is no word for like swines, right? So remember, the city museum contains some of the, you see here just now I told you, some of followed by plural noun. It doesn't mean that every time you go with s, because in plural singular it has same form. If it is other than aircraft, or you can talk about aeroplanes, then you can say planes. Aeroplanes are something like that, but aircraft is similar in singular and plural. So some of the oldest aircraft in the world, it doesn't mean one, it means plural sense here because we are talking about some. Look at this. The sheep are grazing in the field. Here, sheep are, in the sense it is plural. There are many types of deer. We are talking about many. That means here we are talking about in plural sense. Shall we have trout for lunch? No doubt he's a swine. So what is trout? Trout is a kind of fish. No doubt he's a swine. So we are we are schooling someone by saying that he's a swine. By the way, do you know what is meant by swine? What is meant by swine? Can anyone answer this? What is a swine? You know swine flu, right? So what is swine? Because we do not generally use swine for a human being, but here we are rebuking someone by using the word swine. So what is swine? Anyone? Yes, Angela, you're correct. Any other? But not completely. Not completely. I mean, I want little clarity. So, swine is a female pig. So, you're correct partially, Angela. It is pig, but it is a female. The feminine form of pig is swine. So here we are saying no doubt he's a swine. Don't ask me why you are talking in a feminine form. It's just to scold, to rebuke someone. We use just like that. So we can also say that he's a bitch. We generally say, right? Such words in rebuking, we generally do not consider the masculine feminine difference when we use that rebuke words, which are actually the feminine forms or masculine forms for animals. So I hope it is clear to you. So these nouns have same singular and plural forms, same in their spellings as well as pronunciation. Only in sentences we can differentiate by using singular or plural verbs as we did here. Now let's see the next one. The amount of tourists increases every year. The amount of tourists increases every year. Can you count tourists? Can we count tourists? One tourist, two tourists, three tourists. Can we count or not? Yes, we can count. That means tourist is a countable noun. We discussed yesterday countable nouns and uncountable nouns. So a tourist we can count. That means tourist is a countable noun. So now the sense here is for countable nouns we cannot use amount of. Here we are counting. So we have to use number of. For countable nouns we have to use number of. What about uncountable nouns? For uncountable nouns, we must use amount of. For countable nouns, it is number of. For uncountable nouns, it is amount of. Now, tourists are countable nouns, so we have to use number of. The number of tourists increases every year. And one more thing here is, you should know the difference between the number of and a number of. See, the number of always take singular verb, whereas a number of always take plural verb. Why? A number of always takes plural verb, whereas the number of always takes singular verb. Why? Because the number or the number of gives the sense of one particular, the single, whereas a number of gives the sense of many, lot, a lot. That's the reason a number of takes plural verb and the number of takes singular verb. So here the number of tourists, hence we are using singular verb increases every year. Now let's see an example for uncountable noun. The amount of wastage. Can you count wastage? One wastage, two wastages, three wastages. Can we? No. So it should be amount of, because uncountable noun we have to use amount of. The amount of wastage released by factories is very high. The number of workers who joined this factory abides. See, the number of singular, so singular verb abides by the rules. The number of software engineers joining software companies is decreasing every year. Again, you see the number of. A number of ministers, here a number of plural, visited the deep south last month. So remember guys, here visited is in past tense. In past tense for both singular and plural, same form. Only in present tense we can differentiate. But do remember a number of, the number of. The number of takes singular verb because its sense is single. A number of takes plural verb because its sense is plurality with the meaning of lot or a lot of or many. So hope it is clear. Any questions? Anyone, any questions? Is the concept clear with a number of, the number of, countable and uncountable? If you got any questions, do let me know. Let's move on to the next one. He does not have to have time to have a breakfast. He does not have time to have a breakfast. Now, the meals, the names of meals like breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, supper, etc. are not preceded by any articles. Generally, the names of meals should not be preceded by articles. You cannot say a breakfast, a lunch, the brunch, the dinner. We should never use any articles. So, remove a. He does not have time to have breakfast. You cannot say a breakfast. So look at this. Shall I get you breakfast? Have you finished lunch? Not a lunch or the lunch. Brunch is a new word entered the dictionary recently. I don't want supper now. So guys, let me discuss what is this brunch, supper and all. So brunch is a word formed from two words, breakfast and lunch. So BRUNCH. BRUNCH. So from breakfast and lunch, we got brunch. That means if you skip breakfast and if you're taking your lunch early, that becomes brunch. There is no lunch later. It is breakfast come lunch together. That is brunch. So there are number of words in English which are being formed with this kind of blend. This is called blending of words. Now, what is the difference between dinner and supper? Before I before I tell you the difference between dinner and supper, let me ask you, what are you having daily? What do you have at night daily? Is it dinner or supper? Let me hear from you, quick guys. What do you have daily at night? Is it dinner or supper? Please let me know through your comments. Is it dinner or supper? Dinner. Angela told dinner. Okay. One told it's dinner. Anyone? It's dinner. Kartikeya also told dinner. Any other? Lakshmi, Priya, Swapna, Virade. So are you having dinner or supper? So Swapna is having supper, not dinner. Okay. Any other? Fine. Now, uh, what am I having? If you ask me, I will go with Swapna. I'm having supper, not dinner. Why? What's the difference between dinner and supper? Dinner is not what you take every day. It is supper what you take every day, because supper is a light night meal which we take, like roti and sabji, or if you take rice, a bowl of rice or a cup of rice with curry or sambar, whatever you eat. Whereas dinner is a special meal, like I can say a slightly heavy, special meal. It is regular meal at night. At night. What does that mean? Is it during festivals a mother cooks more than one type of curry and with sweets and different things? That means we are having not a regular meal. It is something more heavy and it's not a regular meal. And when guests visit us, again, mother cooks different, which are not regular. So such meals at night is dinner. Just regular meal is supper. Guys, again, when we go out to a restaurant to eat at night, it is dinner, not supper, because it is not a regular meal. If it's a regular meal, it is supper. If it is not regular, it is dinner because it is something heavy and different food, special items. So we are having supper, not dinner. So we generally ask every day, had your dinner? Had your dinner? No, guys, you cannot have dinner every day. It should be supper because it is a regular night meal. Now let's go back to our sentence. He doesn't have time to have breakfast, not a breakfast. We should never use articles. So, shall I get you? Breakfast. Have you finished? Lunch. Brunch is a new word entered the dictionary recently. I do not want supper now, not dinner. But again, there is an exception where we can use definite article the before the names of those meals. When and where it is. Look at this example. The lunch arranged by Mr. KCR on the eve of Telangana Day was delicious. Which lunch? Every day? Every lunch? No. Here we are specifying that the lunch arranged by KCR on the eve of Telangana Day was delicious. We are talking about particular lunch. In specific or particular meals, when we specified or when we particularize specific meal, when we particularize or specify, use definite article the only, not any article. It should be again definite article the only. So the lunch arranged by KCR, the breakfast prepared by the chef. Here we are talking about particular breakfast prepared by the particular chef. I'm not talking about any chef. I'm particularly pointing out the chef, particular chef, specified. So the breakfast prepared by the chef is worth tasting. Which chef? Not every chef, any chef. It is the chef. Again, we are specifying. Only in such cases we can use definite article the. This is the exception, guys. Generally, no article is used before the names of meals. We should not use any article before the names of meals. However, when we specify or particularize a meal, use definite article the. So, I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next one now. My cousin brother is in the UK. This is often committed mistake. Guys, the word cousin means brother or sister from different parents. Okay, so do not use cousin brother, cousin sister. It's very awkward to say brother brother, sister sister, because cousin itself is brother, right? So when you are saying cousin, it itself means brother or sister. Now when you use cousin brother, so what is the meaning here? The meaning is brother brother. So what is brother brother? Is it giving any sense? No, it is redundant, used unnecessarily. So Do not use cousin brother. In the same way, twin sister, twin brother, no, twins. Based on the context, they can understand whether it is male or female. He's my cousin. She's my cousin. He's her twin. You got it, right? So do not use brother or sister with cousin or twin. In the same way, many people, when you take your guest for your home tour, if you are giving a home tour for your guest, you will say, this is hall, this is master bedroom, this is children bedroom, this is something, and this is kitchen room. Guys, again, kitchen itself means a room meant for cooking. So do not use room with kitchen. You should not say kitchen room. It should be kitchen only. So look at these examples. The kitchen is in the north corner, not the kitchen room. And one more thing, we generally use family members. Family member or family members. But it is incorrect. In fact, it is informal usage. The formal usage is member of my family. Look at this. The members of the family. It should be members of the family, not family members. Family members you can use, but that is informal usage, not the formal usage. If you wanted to speak in formal way, it should be the members of the family will go out for dinner. Going out, that's why dinner. If it is regular meal at home, it is supper. Though my cousin, look at this, my cousin works as a CEO in an MNC. Though my cousin is a dark horse, he made an indelible mark with his working style. So here, cousin, kitchen, members of the family, remember, these should be used appropriately in formal way. Don't use brother or sister with cousin and twin. Do not use room with kitchen. Do not say family members in formal communication. It should be members of the family. I hope it is clear to you. Shall we move on to the next? Look at this. The man is mortal. I told you we use definite article the only when we specify or particularize. The man is mortal. What is mortal? Mortal means that which has death, who dies. So we all mortals. We do die one day, right? When you say the man is mortal, only that man is mortal. No, we all are mortals. So this is a generalized statement. So do not use any articles before generalized statement. Man is immortal, not only that man. Here, every man is mortal. Man in the sense, guys, again, do not misunderstand with the masculine sense. It doesn't mean only masculine are mortals, female are immortals. No. Man in the sense, it communicates entire male and female humans. In the same way, look at this one. God is immortal. He has no death. And man is mortal. A generalized statement. The man who violated the rules was imprisoned. Every man was imprisoned? No. The man, here we are specifying particular man who violated the rules was imprisoned. Women, without hair, man is nothing. The women who played the spoil sport is being prosecuted. Here, particular women. Here we are talking in general. So did you understand that? By using definite article the, here we are specifying, particularizing, only then you use. When you are talking in a general sense, you're not specifying a particular person or a thing, do not use any article, especially no definite article. So I hope it is clear. The man and man, God, the man, women, and the women. So let's move on to the next sentence. If you have any doubt, please let me know through your comments. Look at this. The two father-in-laws met to discuss the arrangements. Yesterday we discussed compound nouns. So what are compound nouns? What are compound nouns? Compound nouns are the nouns which are formed by the combination of two or more words as a single unit. Just like father-in-law, mother-in-law, son-in-law, sister-in-law, passerby, stepson, right? We discussed we can pluralize the compound noun, but only by pluralizing the main word. What is the main word in father-in-law? Is it law or father? No doubt it is father. So we cannot add yes to law. We have to add yes to father. So the two fathers in law, because compound noun, we have to pluralize the main word. Met to discuss the arrangements. The passers by. Here, passer is a main word, not by. You cannot say passer by, sir. It should be passers by. The passers by looked for shelter. The vice admirals felt that it is not a hard nut to crack. My brothers in law, or in America, not brother in laws, it is brothers in law. The courts martial are essential for armed forces. Courts martial. For armed forces, there is separate court, right? That is what court martial. Court martial, courts martial. So that's about compound nouns pluralizing. We can pluralize a compound noun, but only by pluralizing the main word of the compound noun, not always by adding s at the end of the noun. For another example, look at this example. Man of war, or if you want to understand man of the match, you will say, right? If it is plural, it is not man of wars, it should be men of war, right? Let's move on to the next one. Look at this. Some peoples who work in factories lead a deplorable life. So here, peoples, the word people itself is plural. So do we require to use peoples? No, we should not use peoples. It should be people only, because people itself is a plural noun. So some people who work in factories lead a deplorable life. Here people is plural. So here who is relative pronoun? Subject of relative pronoun is plural noun. So we took plural verb work, and the actual some is plural, so here is our actual verb lead. Some people who work in factory lead a deplorable life. See, here also we're applying that rule. Now look at this. The people who belong to Libya are kind hearted. Here we are specifying the people. Now the police are investigating the case. I already told you, police, the police, the people. So people, police are plural nouns. At least 10 people were killed in the stampede. A meeting was held with business people. So remember guys, people, the word people itself is plural. So we should not add letter S. However, there is an exception as I discussed yesterday. There is one case where we can add letter S to people and talk in plural. People itself is plural, but why do you add letter S? Means to differentiate the people with a different race, religion, or nationality. For example, the native peoples of Central and South America have represented their problems to the government. Here we are talking about two different nationalities, South America and Central America, and we wanted to differentiate them with their nationalities. So the native peoples of Central and South America have represented their problems to the government. So do remember, guys, peoples refer to a race or different religion or various nations, etc. That means we are differentiating. If you don't want to differentiate with any race or religion or nationality, use only people, not peoples. Is it clear? So if you have any doubt, please let me know with people and peoples. When to use people and when to use peoples. So is it clear? Let me know if you have any doubts. So no doubts, no questions here. I hope it is clear to you. Now let's move on to the next one then. Right then, let's move on to the next one. I like to play the tennis. Now, what is the error in this sentence? I like to play the tennis. The tennis. Can we say the tennis? Do we have different types of tennis? The tennis, this tennis, that tennis? No, right? So remember, do not use articles before the names of games and sports. We should never use article before the names of games and sports. You cannot say the cricket, this cricket, that cricket. No. You have different names for cricket, different types of cricket, but not the cricket. So remember, I like to play tennis, not the tennis. Remove article the. In the same way, let me give some more examples. Chess is an interesting game. Chess, not the chess. Chess is a game. So, no article. He is, excuse me, suffering from cancer. So many people use he's suffering from dark cancer. No, he's suffering from cancer because cancer is a disease. No articles before the names of diseases also. And have you had your lunch? Have you had your lunch? See, lunch, no article. One more example. Bangladesh is the name of the country. Is a neighboring country. We have many neighboring countries, and in that, Bangladesh is one. So, here, remember, we should never use articles before the names of games and sports, the names of diseases, the names of meals, and proper nouns like Bangladesh. It should be always without article because it is a name. So remember, let me make a point here. No article is placed before one proper noun, two material noun, three abstract noun, four names of meals, five names of diseases, and names of games and excuse me, sports. So guys, do remember this. You should never use any article before proper nouns. You know, proper nouns, all the names of particular person or a thing. So can you use article before your name? Da Ravi, Da Suresh, Da Radha. No, no article. You cannot use either a. Next, material nouns. Today we have discussed that. Can we use the cotton is a cash crop? No, unless we specified no article. Next, abstract noun. The music is good when we specify. Otherwise, music is a blessing in disguise. Names of meals, the lunch, the supper, the dinner. No, unless we specify. Names of disease, not the cancer. It is cancer, is suffering from cancer. This cancer, that cancer, we don't have that one. Names of games and sports. So already we have seen not the tennis, the cricket, etc. So I hope it is clear to you. So do not use articles before this. Now let's move on to the next sentence. Look at this sentence. He gave us advices on he gave us advices on how to grab an opportunity gave us advices on how to grab an opportunity in the government sector. He gave us advices on how to grab an opportunity in the government sector. Now, guys, do remember there are some words which do not have plurals because they are uncountable nouns. You might have remembered the concept of uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns are always singular and we have to use singular verb with them. So let me give a few uncountable nouns. Advice, furniture, machinery, information. So these are uncountable nouns. So they're always singular. However, we can talk about these in different sense when you're specifying particular. He gave us advices. That means he has given more than one, right? That is what you wanted to communicate. In such sense, we have to write it like pieces of advice. It should be pieces of advice, not advices, because uncountable. We cannot add s for these uncountable nouns. However, we can tell in different ways a piece of advice, two pieces of advice, some pieces of advice, that is okay, but not advices. Do remember, because advice is an uncountable noun. But remember, guys, there is another word ADVISE. What is the difference between ADVICE and ADVISE? What is CE? What is SE? Remember, advice is a noun, whereas advice is a verb. So you can use it with S in third person singular, but you can never use with S because it is a noun. So let me give some examples. So as I told you, advice is a noun, but you can say he advises. He advises us to take up new challenges. See, here we used it as a noun. So, advice. Here we are using it as a verb. Advises. Because verb can be added as in third person singular. He is third person singular. That's why we have said advises. In the same way, there is one more set. Let me talk about that set too. Practice. TICE. Practice. TISE. Same. CE is a noun. SE is a verb. Practice makes man perfect. Practice makes man perfect. Here, practice used as a noun. So, practice makes man perfect. Now, he practices every day. He practices SES every day. So, I hope it is clear to you. CE is noun form, SE is verb form. CE, no plural. However, you can say pieces like that. SE, you can use it in singular, like he advises us to take new challenges. So, is it clear to you? Mind uncountable nouns. They cannot ever be written in plural sense. So let's move on to the next one. So let's see the next one. One of, remember the concept with one of? So I'm giving the same. One of his book were stolen. So can you tell me what is the hera here? Already discussed one of the concept, remember? One of, always take plural noun and singular verb when there is no relative pronoun. So same thing here, same concept. One of his, we require plural noun. So one of his plural noun is books, and we require a singular verb. What is singular verb? Was. So one of his books was stolen. He has many books, and we are talking about one of his books, plural noun and a singular verb. Let me give some more examples. He is one of my friends. I have many friends and he is one of many. See, he is one. One is singular, so is. He is one of my friends. That's it. Let me give one more example. He's here. One of my cousins. I have many cousins, but I'm talking about only one. So cousins, one of. So one is singular, so we require singular verb. Lives in Canada. One of my cousins lives in Canada. So I have many cousins. I'm talking about one of many. Now let's see one more example here. One of the attractive. One of the attractive. I'm talking about attractive sites. There are many attractive sites, but I'm talking about one of the attractive sites is Charminar. So here I'm talking about many attractive sites in Hyderabad, but I'm not talking about all. I'm talking about one. There are many attractive sites, but I'm talking about only one. One of the attractive sites is Charminar. I hope this is clear to you with one of the. Let's move on to the next sentence. So, our next sentence is in compliance, in compliance with in compliance with my request. So what does it mean? An agreement with my request. Shweta introduced Shweta introduced me to one of, again I'm discussing one of the concept but different model. Shweta introduced me to one of her colleagues. She has many colleagues, but we are talking about one of many. So Shweta introduced me to one of her colleagues who who is a poet and an artist. Who is a poet and an artist. Now, Shweta introduced me to how many members? How many persons? Shweta introduced me to how many persons? One of her colleagues. That means only one person only, no? So that one person is a poet and an artist. See, remember this concept. If there are two different articles before two different nouns connected by and, if there are two different articles before two different nouns, here noun 1, noun 2, before two different nouns joined by and, if there are two different articles, it means two persons. It means two different persons. But if there is only one article before two nouns, noun 1 and noun 2. If there is only one article before two nouns, noun 1, noun 2, connected by and, it means only one person. So, is the concept clear? Two different articles before two different nouns joined by and means two different persons. One article before two different nouns connected by and means one person. So that is what we have to apply here. I was introduced to only one person. That one person is poet and also artist. So what we have to do? We have to remove this and. So Shweta introduced me to one of her colleagues who poet and artist. And one more error here. As I already told you, who is a relative pronoun? The subject of the relative pronoun is its precedent. Precedent is singular or plural here? Colleagues. Colleagues is plural. So we require plural verb. Who are. But our sense here is only one. So one of takes plural noun, plural verb here because relative pronoun is there. But if there is no relative pronoun like this, when there is no relative pronoun, then it should be is only. So one of her colleagues is a poet and artist. So remember, we are talking about only one person. Only one person in the sense, only one article. So look at some more examples. He is a director and producer. See, I'm talking about how many people? Only one. That one person is director and also a producer. He is a director and producer. I met a person who is I met a person who is a politician and poet. That means the person who is politician is also a poet. The person who is director is also a producer because only one article is there. If there are two different articles, then it means two different persons. I hope that is clear to you. Let's move on to the next one. Look at this sentence. The government sanctioned, government is subject, sanctioned is verb. So the government sanctioned 30 crore rupees. Now, if you look at this sentence, can you tell me where is the error? The government, singular, sanctioned. Verb is in past tense, singular and plural, same. 30 crore rupees is the object. So, subject, verb, object. Is there any error in this sentence? Singular, singular, it is in past tense, same. 30 crore rupees. Is it correct or not? Means absolutely correct. So there is no error in the sentence. In examinations, every time they will not give you with error only. Sometimes they may give you correction, the correct sentences also. So many people feel it as 30 crores, but as I already told you, units of counting when preceded by a numerical adjective, that is number, should not be pluralized. So 30 crore rupees is absolutely correct. So that sentence is correct as it is. Let me give some examples here. He has bought a house with 10 million dollars. So here again, 10 million, not millions. Just like that, our given sentence is correct. So I hope it is clear. Already we have discussed this concept. When units of counting is preceded by a number, numerical adjective, they are not pluralized, like dozen, hundred, thousand, etc. So let's move on to the next one. The three musketeers. I hope you read this book, The Three Musketeers, or a historic, or you can also, let me make it instead of historic, let me take it as an adventure novel. So, The Three Musketeers, or an adventure novel written in 1844. Now, guys, what is the subject in our sentence? The three musketeers. What is the verb? Are. So, what is the object? An adventure novel written, whatever is given. Now, if you look at this sentence, the subject is three musketeers. So, the three musketeers, is it singular or plural? Is the subject singular or plural? The three musketeers, is it singular or plural? So, what is the three musketeers? It is the name of a book, right? That means it is a proper noun. So we learned proper nouns are always singular, not plural. That means we have to replace are with is, because the Three Musketeers is the name of a book which is a single, right? So singular noun requires singular verb. Right, good guys. It is book. So as you have mentioned, it is book. So we have to use singular. Let me give some more examples of such kind. You might have read Gulliver's Travel. Gulliver's Travels. It's one of my childhood favorite books. So it is also an adventurous book, right? So Gulliver's Travels is the name of a book. So name of a book, but is it singular or plural? It is singular. So we require to use singular verb. Has been. So has is a singular verb. So Gulliver's Travel has been abridged for many, or abridged for, let me make it different sense, abridged for the abridged for the benefit of many children. See here, I'm talking about the name of the book, that is Gulliver's Travels. Even though it ended in S, it's a name. So it should be singular. So singular verb, has been. Let us see one more examples. The tale of the two cities. The Tale of the Two Cities. Again, it is the name of the book. The Tale of the Two Cities is the name of the book. So it is the name of the book. It is singular. So the Tale of the Two Cities gives a clear picture of do you know the book is of Paris during French Revolution. So the Tale of the Two Cities is the name of the book. Again, it ended with S but doesn't mean it is plural. Hence, it is singular. We took a singular verb, gives. So remember the names of books, the names of things, the names of anything which is a proper noun, though end with S, if it is singular, we have to say it as singular sense and use the singular verb. Now let's see the next one. It is often repeated saying. You know, sayings in every language we have some sayings. So I'm talking about a repeated saying. What is that saying? That bad travel fast. So bad travel fast is a repeated saying. Now it is often repeated saying. Any error till here? It singular. So singular verb is. What is that? Is often repeated saying. Okay, we are talking about one saying. So it is singular. What is the saying? Bad travel fast. So what is the subject here in that saying? Bad. So bad is singular or plural? It is singular. So we require singular verb or plural verb? We require singular verb. But here it is plural. So we require a singular verb, that is travels. It is often repeated saying that bag travels fast. I hope it is clear. Because subject is singular, verb must be singular. Remember the concept. When subject is singular, verb must be singular. When verb is singular, the pronoun must be singular. When subject is plural, verb must be plural. When verb is plural, the pronoun that comes after the verb must be plural. So this is a basic concept. If you remember this, you can apply for n number of examples. Now, let's see one more example. Poetry. Is it singular or plural? Singular. Scenery. Is it singular or plural? Again, singular. Machinery. Singular. Stationery. The books, pens, what we buy is again singular. Furniture. Singular. Luggage. Again, singular. Courage. Singular. News. Singular. Bravery. Singular. Information. Singular. Music. Singular. Honesty. Singular. So remember, all these come under uncountable nouns. And all uncountable nouns are always singular. So with these singular uncountable nouns, remember you must take singular verb only, not plural. So poetry is, stationery is, courage is, scenery is, furniture is, news is, machinery is, language is, bravery is, information is, music is, honesty is. Because as these nouns are singular, we require to use singular verbs. And if there is a pronoun, we must use singular pronoun. I hope it is clear. If you got any doubts, please let me know. Anyone got any doubts in this concept? Now, let's move on to the next sentence. The same board is used for chess as well as for draughts. Now, guys, quick, what is the error in this sentence? Did you find any error? The same board is used for chess as well as for draughts. Do you find any error here? The same board is used for chess as well as for draughts. Any error? Let me know if there is any error, or let me divide this sentence. The same board is used for chess as well as for draughts. And let me give one more. No error. So this is how you generally face in exams for error detection. So I will give you A, B, C, D, and E. Now, quickly, where is error in this sentence? A, B, C, D, E. If there is no error, your answer should be E. Please answer, guys. So, where is the error in this sentence? Answer this. So we got answer from Angela. The answer is D. Okay, Angela found that there is an error in D. Any other answers? Any other answer from anyone? Fine. The answer is option E. There is no error in the sentence. I already told you in exams it is not always the wrong sentence they give. They may ask you to choose like this and the sentence can be correct. Why the sentence is correct? Let me explain you that. We are saying the same board. Board is singular is used for chess as well as for draughts. Draughts is a name of a game. It's not draught, it is name of a game ends with yes. Like caroms ends with yes is the name of a game. So there is no error in this sentence. It is correct as it is. Now look at the next sentence. It is very difficult to score a huge score in the second inning. So here you got A, B, C, D, and the fifth one, no error. E. So what is your answer? Quick, guys. Swapna answered it as D. Good. Okay. Any other? Only Swapna has answered. So the answer is D absolutely. But why? Why there is an error here? Quick. Why there is an error here? What should be the correction here? Fast. Anyone replied fast? Why should D is incorrect? That means what is the correction here? Good, Angela. That is the correction. Innings. Already we discussed. There is no singular form here. That means there is no word with inning. So those words end with S and always singular. Innings, physics, mathematics, politics, we discussed that. So innings always singular and always end with yes. So you cannot use without yes. So that is correct absolutely. Now let us see some more examples. Here we go. This exercise is for you guys. So make it fast. Be quick to answer. Sachin has scored 1 hundreds runs. So let me divide the sentence. A, B, C, D. There are only 4 parts. Quick, answer this. Where article you're mentioning? It is option C. Why? Swapna mentioned it as option C, but why? Answer that. Why? So we got yes, exactly, exactly. You're correct, guys, Swapna and Angela. So we discussed that it should be singular, especially when it is preceded by a number. Here, number is definite, and that number is one. So it should be 100. Correct, guys. So here is the next sentence for you. Doctors tried their best to save the lives of the accident victims. And option A, B, C, D, and E. You have five options now. So choose the correct one and give the answer to. That means we require to correct also. It makes your sentence improvement exercise. Not on error detection, you are doing sentence improvement exercise by giving the correct answer like that. So, what is the error in this sentence? Doctors tried their best to save the lives of accident victims. So, the answer Swapna has given as C, but why? I want explanation. You have to give correct answer. Right, Angela? It is C, and the answer is lives. Did you remember that, right? So we discussed yesterday the plural of life ended in fe takes v before adding es, like wife, knife. These words end with fe, and fe is replaced fe is replaced with v before adding es. Wives. Knife, ni, replace fe with v and add es. Knives. Right? So, this is the concept. Good that you remember. Now, let me give one more example. The professor cleared the doubts of all all the students after his lecturing. The professor cleared the doubts of all the students after his lecturing. Option E, no error. So, give the answer with explanation. So we have here good, Angela. Uh, Swapna, your answer is B. No article? No. It should be because we are specifying the doubts. Which doubts? The doubts, specific doubts, particular doubts. So here, the doubts is correct. And Angela, you are right. It is not lecturing, it is lecture, right? After his lecture, not lecturing. Now look at this sentence. Nowadays, it has become trendy for young people to have short hairs and no era. So identify the era in this sentence, and this would be our last sentence for today. So identify the era with correction. Nowadays, it has become trendy for young people to have short hairs. What is the era? Good. It is option D, and the era is with hairs. It should be always hair, not hairs. Right, guys? Well done, you. So you have understood the concept of nouns and you are doing better in application part. It's a good thing. So I hope there are no doubts in this concept of nouns. If you have any doubt as of now on nouns, please let me know through your comment now if you have any doubts. If you do not have doubts, we'll be moving on to the next session. Anyone, any questions or doubts in today's session, please let me know fast. Any doubts? If you don't have doubts, let me know no doubts. If you have doubts, so please let me know what are your doubts. Any doubts, anyone? You have to come down. Okay, fine. There are no doubts. So that's all about our nouns. We have done nouns. We'll start afresh tomorrow. The new concept, pronouns, at 6 a.m. sharp at the same time. But get ready for today's session. Evening you have another session at 5:30 p.m.